Imagine coming home only to find somebody hiding in it. Reddit users
pulled the car in reverse, looked over her shoulder before backing up. I was still looking up at the hill. A figure stepped in front of the body.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
They'll drain your peace and drag you down. Spooky season, ain't where to bomb. They move like spirits, here they come. Don't be the girl who feeds a clown. They'll drain your peace and drag you down. Crusty like the no free stay, no red flag. Protect your space, protect your crown. It's spooky season, shut them down.
Hey y'all, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny and welcome back to another episode of Spooky Storytime. And happy Halloween. So every Halloween,
imagine coming home only to find somebody hiding in it. Reddit user Myra shared her terrifying experience to Let's Not Meet. When she was 21, she was in the process of moving into her first apartment. While on the phone with her boyfriend, she went to check the mail. Her apartment door automatically locking behind her. Once she returned to her apartment, she sat on her bed to open up her mail. She was still talking to her boyfriend when she accidentally dropped her phone and it landed under her bed. She laid down and stretched her arm under her bed to grab her phone. That's when something caught her eye. There was somebody hiding under her bed. He was lying still with his back towards her and his head in his chest, so she couldn't see his face. She choked back the urge to scream and slowly backed away without him seeing her. She told her boyfriend, "Sorry, I dropped my phone. I'm gonna go take a shower and I'll call you back." She walked to her bathroom, closed the door and locked it, turned the shower on, and then climbed out her window. She called the police and they told her to wait somewhere safely nearby. She patiently waited for the police, and when they arrived, she gave them the keys to her apartment. Moments later, the police came out with a thin man with crazy eyes. The police told her the man was waiting outside her bathroom door with one of her kitchen knives, waiting for her to come out. He had somehow gone through her entry door while she was getting mail and then hid under her bed. The man, who was homeless, was placed inside a mental hospital, and her boyfriend moved in with her the very next day.
you guys want to hear a scary story? It reminds me a lot of Insidious, but it's real. One time when I was babysitting these two girls, talked about them in a video before this. We were going to call the older one Luna and the younger one Aura. That's what I called them last time. I was babysitting, and the older one had an imaginary friend that she called Pete. I would always sense weird energy in this house. Disturbing, dark, like not good, friendly Casper the Ghost. And then one time, the oldest Luna at the time was, I want to say she was 3 or 4. And the baby, Aura, was like 6 months old. And I had put Aura down for bed. Put her in her little swaddle, got her all set up. She was snug as a bug, cute, perfect sleeping. And me and Luna were out in the living room because I was like, okay, we can play one game together like before you go to sleep, because Aura obviously went to bed a little bit earlier. Then we pulled out like Candyland, some board game, which obviously she doesn't know how to play the ins and outs and the rules because she's 3. But when we were playing, she had another little character and it was Pete's, right? And every time, I swear to God, I would look away, I'd look back and it would move, and she'd be like, oh, Pete moved it. And I'm like, okay, Luna, like you obviously moved it, you know? Like she's 3 and I know she's just like, you know, she doesn't know how to play the game. Now I know it was literally this dark spirit that was moving it, but stay with me. I'm like, okay, Luna, sure. And then out of nowhere, we're playing and the TV was on in the background, excuse me. And Luna goes, I love this song. And I'm like listening. I'm like, what song, baby? Like, I don't hear any music. And she said, oh, the song that Pete is singing to me. She said, it's a song that my daddy plays on his guitar because their dad played guitar, I guess. Like, I'd always see the guitar. Sometimes it'd be in the living room or sometimes it'd be in the parents' room, like when I'd go in there to grab stuff for the kids. It was just like always propped against a wall. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Like, remember what we said about Pete? Because I told her I didn't want her talking to Pete because, again, this felt like a dark energy. And it sucked because every time I was there, I felt like he was sitting in between me and her. Like, he was always, the spirit, Pete, was always hovering. It would never go away. So anyways, I'm like, what song? Blah, blah. And she's like, I'm trying to get her to describe to me again. She's 3. She doesn't really know how to describe it. And she says, no, Pete said he'll play for you. And I said, no, that's okay. Like, want anything to do with it? She said, no, he'll play for you. Just hold on. So I ignore it and we start playing this game again. Just moving little pieces across the board. And all of a sudden I hear the strum of a guitar. Just a solo strum, like an off chord. And I just get chills down my back because at this time the guitar was in the parents' room. I only knew that. I hadn't gone in their room that time, but because I heard it and their door was shut. And Luna jumps up. She's like, oh, I told you, Riley. Like, I told you. Pete said he'd show you the song. It's my favorite song. And I'm terrified. Like, I'm trying so hard to act cool. I don't know how this little girl is not so scared. But I'm just like, oh, okay, hold on. Let me just go look real quick, because my immediate thought was like, maybe somebody's in the house, like a real person, because that sounded way too real. It literally was just a strum of a guitar. So I go into the parents' room, I turn on all the lights, the guitar is just sitting against the wall. Nobody's in the house. I do a sweep, and I'm like really disturbed because every sweep I'm doing, I feel like something is just hovering and following me into every room I'm going into. So I finally sit back down with her. I'm like, okay, babe, let's watch like 10 more minutes of the show, and then like we're gonna go to bed. When I sat on the couch with her, it was the first time I felt like not super heavy, overpowering energy, and I'm like, whew, okay, like. But anyways, I was like, okay, this feels a little less heavy. Sorry, my dog's drinking water in the background. She's so loud. So I'm like, okay, I can breathe a little bit. And I pick up the baby monitor right next to us. You guys know what's coming. You've seen the scary movies, because it literally was just like that. Pick up the baby monitor to check on Aura, and I literally gag when I think about this because it was so terrifying. I see a hand, right next to the baby. She's sleeping, she's swaddling, and it's a creepy hand where the nails are like this long, and it's just this black shadowy hand just right next to her. And again, this is the first time I said I felt relieved, like I wasn't being followed. It's because it went in the other room. I freak out. I literally sprinted, ran, busted into Aura's room, woke her up because I came in the door so hot. She was crying, and just felt that energy in that room was disgusting. I pick her up, I bring her back out to the living room. I'm like trying to explain to the parents when they come home, like they're gonna think I'm insane of why their kids are still awake. And I'm sitting on the couch with the baby and with Luna, and I forgot to turn off the baby monitor. And I literally hear just disembodied voices coming from the baby monitor. Terrifying, out of nowhere, loud. And I literally just shut the baby monitor off. And the baby ended up falling back asleep in my arms. Luna ended up falling back asleep, and she like fell asleep on me, like her little head was on my shoulder. When the parents came out, I was like, sorry, they're just like so sweet, and they just wanted to sleep out here with me. Because I tried again to, like I've explained this in the other video, but I tried to kind of bring it up to them before, how like something I thought was going on in their house paranormal, and they looked at me like I was fucking insane. So I knew I wasn't getting anywhere with that. But that was also one of the terrifying times I experienced babysitting for those kids.
Let's go on Reddit, let's not meet, and get some crazy stories to spook myself, of course. So this year I decided to go through to find some crazy stories for you guys, and I came across this one that you will love, actually. You will love, because this one really had my jaw on the floor, and it's called the Craigslist job. Y'all remember Craigslist? I used to go on there to find jobs all the time, but after this, I probably would have never gone on Craigslist ever again. So I start off, it started on Tuesday afternoon. I was scrolling through Craigslist looking for quick jobs, babysitting, moving help, anything. That's when I saw a post that caught my eyes. Paid attendees needed for funeral. $1,000, 1 hour, no questions asked. The instruction says, arrive at St. Waverly's funeral home at 9 p.m. sharp. Wear all black, sit quietly through the 1 hour service. You will be compensated in cash after completion. No contact name, no phone numbers, just an address and time. At first, I thought it was weird, but something told me to go. Maybe it was curiosity, maybe it was desperation. My rent was due in 2 days, so I went. St. Waverly sat at the edge of town, surrounded by crooked trees and an overgrown fence. The building looked like it had been closed for decades, windows covered in gray, and a single bolt flickering by the entrance. When I stepped inside, the air changed. It felt heavy, humid, like the air right before a thunderstorm. There was no one there, no staff, no mourners, just a faint smell of lilies and something that made my stomach turn, like metal and decay. On a small wooden table by the door, there was a folded piece of paper with my name written in it in shaking handwriting. I unfolded and it read, "Welcome guests. You have been chosen to fulfill Mr. Hollerson's final wishes. Sit in the front row and remain seated until the service ends. Do not leave the room. The ceremony lasts exactly 1 hour. The dead thank you for attending." No signature, no explanation. So I glanced around the room. There was exactly one chair, facing directly in front of the closed casket draped in black silk. I checked my phone, 8:59 p.m., right on time, so I sat down. At first, it was just silent. Then came the clicking, a faint rhythmic sound echoing through the walls. I looked for a clock, but there was none. The light began to flicker, and a soft humming filled the air like a far-off choir singing underwater. Half an hour in, I started hearing footsteps behind me, slow, dragging footsteps. I turned around, but the room was empty. Still, I could feel someone watching me. When my phone says 9:59 p.m., the air turns icy. My breath came out in white mist. Then the light went completely out. I fumbled for my flashlight, shaking so hard I could barely tap the screen. Then the beam landed right on the casket, and it was moving. The lid was rising, slowly, as if something inside was pushing it up from within. When it finally lifted, I saw a pale, waxy face staring back at me, eyes open, mouth sewn shut with black thread, hands folded tightly on its chest, but the fingers were twitching, like they were trying to grab something unseen. Pinned to his shirt was a note. I stepped close, everything screaming, "Don't look, don't look, don't look," but I couldn't stop myself. The note read, "The dead thank you for attending. He was the last of his bloodline. All others rest beyond the veil. His final wishes was to not be buried alone." My knees went completely weak. His hands, his cold, dead hands, lifted and rested on top of mine. I swear to you, I felt his skin. It was stiff and cold, but alive with something else, something pulsing. And then the lid slammed shut with the sound so loud it rang in my ears. The light flickered back on. My phone alarm buzzed exactly 10 p.m. The 1 hour was over. I ran towards the door, but when I reached the entrance, the note that had welcomed me was gone, and in its place was a fresh white envelope with my name written in perfect cursive. Inside, $1,000 in crisp $100 bills, and a black card that says, "Thank you for your company. The family will be in touch for future services." I never went back, but the past 3 months, every Sunday at exactly 9 p.m., I get an email from an address that looks like this: "No reply, HubbardsonEstate.org." And all it says is, "We appreciate your attendance." Oh Lord, can you imagine? Can you imagine being, first of all, why are we being paid to go to a funeral? I didn't even know that was a thing, okay? Being paid to go to a funeral is crazy. Getting there and you see that there's only one chair, there's nobody at the funeral except for a casket, a closed casket, right? I would turn around and leave. Like, I don't care how much money you're paying me. I'm like, why am I at a funeral home, at a funeral, and it's only one chair? There's nobody there. There's no staff. Where are the staffs? Who is singing? Who is performing this funeral? And why am I the only one here? And then on top of that, the casket is perfectly closed. The shaky hands already told me that it was the dead that was writing, because when you mean shaky hands and there's nobody at the funeral home. Let me know what you think about this, and let me know if you have ever gone on Craigslist to find a job, because I've actually gone on Craigslist to find jobs a long time ago. I remember I did a hair show in Chicago. I did it in Orlando. I used to do hair shows in Orlando all the time whenever they have hair shows. And then I was actually hired from one of the ladies that hired me from Craigslist for an Orlando hair show, and traveled me and my man at the time to Chicago for another hair show in Chicago. It was so much fun. But have you ever actually gone to Craigslist for services? I remember when Craigslist used to be so crazy and scary that people would warn you not to go on there, but I still used to go on there and find jobs. I don't even know why I trust people that much. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about the story, because I thought it was bizarre.
So to everybody telling they scary stories about spirits and stuff like that, let me tell y'all about the time I came face to face with a mimic from the theater that I volunteer at. So boom, listen, I'm gonna do this all in one take. So I volunteer at a community theater, and that motherfucker haunted. There's something in that basement that does not like me, and I do not like it. I stay away from the basement. I can't stand the basement. I refuse to go into the basement alone. I would never go into the basement alone. Why? Because that thing that is in the basement makes me feel like it wants to hurt me. I don't have no problems with it, and I stay away from it. He has his problems with me. I don't know what they are, but you know, it might be because I'm black. Anyway, so there's one night we were we were staying late from rehearsal. There was me, the stage manager, and my two best friends. So I'll name Madison and Jacob. Girl, hey, how y'all doing? I'll tell y'all in the video. Y'all can confirm that this shit happened. Okay, so me, Madison, and the stage manager, and Jacob, we're all having a kiki. We're cleaning the stage. We're sweeping and mopping and doing shit. We're having a fun time. We're just being. We end up talking about the ghost stories that they tell during the ghost tour, and the story about the lavender lady in the theater. She comes up. Now they tell this story pretty prevalent. Prevalent is the word? I don't know, but they tell the story a lot. Now, as the story about the lavender lady going on, the stage manager, something reminded her that she needed something from the basement, and she asked Jacob. She's like, "Hey, Jacob, I need something from the basement. Can you go downstairs to grab it?" Jacob's like, "Hell no, I'm not going down there by myself. What if there's an axe murderer?" That's exactly what he said. I swear to God, that's exactly what he said. And then she was like, "Well, take Marquis." And he was like, "Well, Marquis," I was like, "No, I'm not going down there. You know I don't like that basement. That basement don't like me. I'm not going down them stairs." Long story short, Jacob ended up bribing me with a damn tequila sunrise, and I ended up going anyway. Like a dummy. So we end up going downstairs, and we end up finding what we're looking for. And as we are about to leave the damn prop room, we see this figure standing in the doorway. We both look, and in unison, I swear on my granny ashes, we say, "Ow!" at the same time. Because it was just standing there, solid figure. It dips off, it disappears. We run up the stairs. We both out of breath. We sitting here talking about yeah, bitch, we're not going back downstairs. No. They ask what happened. We tell Maddie what happened, and Madison's like, "What are you gonna do if it follows you?" I'm like, "I wish this motherfucker would follow me." And that's my problem right there. I sat here and said, "I wish this motherfucker would follow me." Yep, I do too much of this. I need to learn how to stop. So we end up talking our shit, leaving. I end up home. Get home. It's the dead of fucking winter. Julian's at work. My fiance's at work. So I get in the house. First red flag that oh, hell no. See, even talking about this shit scaring me. So I get home. First red flag should have been my fucking bedroom door was open. I don't never leave my bedroom door open. I have a cat that likes to claw stuff up. He's not allowed in here without supervision. Second red flag, he was still in the living room. That's how I know. That's how I should have known something was wrong. Bedroom door was open. My cat was still in the living room. He wasn't in my bedroom. That should have been the first red flag. So I hear my fiance's voice come out of my bedroom, and he's like, "Hey, babe, how are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, babe, I'm doing good. I'm gonna come give you a kiss, but I gotta use the bathroom first." I go to the bathroom first, and it's still talking to me. The voice is still talking to me. I don't see where the voice is coming from, but I know it's coming from my bedroom. So I'm in the bedroom, and I'm talking. He's talking. It's talking. Whatever the fuck it goes by. It's still having a conversation with me. We're literally, I'm like enthralled in this conversation, having a full intellectual conversation, explaining my day, how it went. I even told him about the mishap one of my residents had. And I kid you not, as I crack the bathroom door open, because like I can't hear because it starts to get a little muffled. So I'm like, "Babe, I'm gonna crack the bedroom door." Hold on, say that again. I open the bathroom door just a little bit, and I'm so deep in my phone on on Royal Match. I'm not trying to plug them. I swear to God, I'm playing the little Royal Match game, and I swear to God, I see the door open a little bit more than how I had it, and as I'm like talking, I see something like stand in the doorway, and I'm thinking that my fiance came to be fucking be a fucking weirdo, because like we play like that, so I'm thinking it's him. But I swear to God on my granny ashes, when I looked up, this creature, this being, this entity, whatever you want to call it, when I looked up, it had my fiance's face. But the only difference about my fiance that it didn't it had red and gold eyes. I swear on my granny ashes, bro, on my altar to Aphrodite, it had red and gold eyes, and it was looking at me. I couldn't do shit but scream. I legitimately screamed. Like, it was a full Final Girl scream. Like, it was just, it was bad. Like, it was terrifying. Like, I felt like my heart fell out of my ass. Like, it was terrifying. And as like I scream, it runs. And then my fiance just so happens to come in, and he's like running towards me because like he hears me screaming. He thinks something's wrong. He's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I'm like, that was not you? Was that not you? Oh my God, was that not you? And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Bro, there was something in the house, man. There was something in the house." Girl, I finished up using the bathroom. I had him check the house to make sure that I was not alone, like to make sure like it was gone. I called Madison after that to have her come to cleanse my house. I was so like I couldn't even focus on doing it myself. I had Madison come to my house and cleanse it, and I will tag her in the video, and she will literally confirm that this has happened. Like I was like, and even just thinking about it, I'm like, just thinking about it, and then like, it was like what really was like the scariest part about it was, it wasn't like a shadow, a masked shadow. It was like a solid human being. Like if you could see me, like that's what it was, and I did not sleep that night. Like, I remember I didn't sleep that night. I ain't gonna, not for legal reasons, this is a joke, but I took one of Juju's Adderalls to go to work the next morning because I did not go to sleep. Like, it was so that was the most terrifying shit I have ever been through. But yeah, that's my scary story. That's my story with the paranormal. But I have a couple more. I could tell y'all about the time I had a dream that I danced with a demon.
The story is so creepy that I have to force myself to stop thinking about it. It came from one of my followers that wants to stay anonymous, but the basis of her story was seeing a person that was not human. And I know that sounds crazy, but just listen to this. So she starts by explaining that she was using the bathroom in public one day, and as she's sitting in the stall doing her business, she hears the door open. And you know how the bathroom stalls, at least here in America, have those huge cracks where you can kind of peek out, and others, unfortunately, can peek in if they really wanted to? Well, as she's sitting there on the toilet, she hears someone come in, so she kind of leans over to peek out and see who's in there with her because she notices that this person doesn't go into a stall. When she looks out, she sees this lady standing in front of the bathroom mirror, and she's just standing there, kind of smiling at herself in the mirror. The girl in the bathroom stall that sent me the story is thinking, okay, this is kind of weird, but she's just gonna mind her own business. She peeks out a couple more times, and this girl is still standing there in front of the mirror, just making different facial expressions at herself. Now at this point, she's already finished up with what she went in there to do, but she isn't really sure that she wants to get out of the stall and leave while this lady is still in there because she wants to avoid any awkwardness. She doesn't think that the girl standing at the mirror even knows that she's in the bathroom with her, and she doesn't want to embarrass her or anything, so she's just kind of waiting it out. But then she starts to hear these really strange noises. They're almost like these weird guttural grunts, like this girl is trying to find her voice. She's doing it repeatedly, over and over again, but as she's doing it, her voice is changing and forming more into a normal talking voice. Now the girl in the stall is positive that she's not leaving. She's officially freaked out. She said that it almost sounded like the girl was trying to mimic human speech. And she's still just standing there, kind of leaned over with her face pretty close to the mirror, watching herself make these different facial expressions and making these strange noises. But then her eyes dart over because she sees movement in the girl's stall. Once this thing realizes that she's not alone in the bathroom, she immediately stands up straight and walks out. And the girl in the stall who sent me this story ended by saying, whatever it was knew what it needed to do to blend itself into human society. So my mind can't help but wonder, what was it if not human, and why is it trying to mimic human form? Let's not meet Reddit thread. One decision. When I was a teenager, I was goth, black hair, black clothes, black makeup, and I even had a pair of combat boots. My friend and I, in typical goth fashion, hung out a lot at the local cemetery. We started going as a joke, but soon discovered we liked the peace we found there. That all changed one night. My friend called me to see if I wanted to hang out, and I did. None of our other friends were available. They were either working or recovering from the party the night before, so we went on our own. My friend picked me up, and we drove to the cemetery. We were hanging out, smoking cigs, and BSing about the latest issues she was having with her boyfriend, when we noticed at the top of the hill that we were on, about 100 feet away, a bonfire had been lit. You have to understand that this cemetery is about a block off a major university, and it's not uncommon for college students to go there and have a party. My friend and I sighed, knowing we had to get going soon. It was illegal to be at the cemetery after dark, and we knew the police would show up because some jerk decided to light a bonfire. We decided to finish our cigs and then take off. Just then, the most horrible stench came wafting down the hill from the direction of the bonfire. My friend gagged and covered her mouth. I groaned and said, "What the hell?" My friend shook her head, saying, "I don't even know what they're doing. Let's just leave." We get in the car, and one of us suggested, I don't really remember who, maybe we should just go up there and see what they're doing. My stomach turned and a cold shiver ran through my body. My friend must have had the same feeling, because at the same time we both said, no, we should leave. My friend turned the car on, switched on her headlights, pulled the car in reverse, looked over her shoulder before backing up. I was still looking up at the hill. A figure stepped in front of the bonfire. I could only see a silhouette, but I was sure whoever it was, they were watching us. A feeling of terror hit me, and I said, go, 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 getting louder and more panicked with each word. My friend looked back at the hill for a second, and just as the figure took a step towards us, she slammed on the gas and peeled out, going reverse down the hill. We didn't say anything for a while until she said, "What were they burning?" I shook my head. I don't know. She dropped me off at home, and I went to bed. The next morning, I woke up and went to the kitchen. My mom was there drinking her morning coffee, and I joined her. We talked about her job for a bit when she suddenly goes, "Did you hear what happened last night?" I shrug and say, "No." I had just gotten up. She tells me that a woman she worked with was kidnapped from the parking garage. "Oh my God, did they find her?" I asked. "Yes, but too late," she replies. "Whoever took her essayed her and unalived her. This morning, she was found in the cemetery. He had tried to dispose of her body in a bonfire." I froze. My brain was going a mile a minute, and the realization slowly crept up. That's what that smell was. Dark stranger in the bonfire, let's not meet.
Hey guys, I'm Jenny, and this is Shameless Plug. So I want to tell you guys about my Crown of Success manifestation book with easy, simple rituals and spells to manifest a life of abundance in your life. And those spells are so easy, even a child can do it. So this book is filled with different spells that I've learned over the years from my family, passed down from grandma and everything. And also those are spells that I've actually tried and I know that they work. So this book not only teaches you step by step on the things that you can do that are so easy that a child can do it, but it tells you like the proper moon phase to use, alchemy, manifesting with numbers, numerology, and also the days of the week that best fit for this particular spell. So it tells you the timing of when to practice the spell, the days of the week, the moon phase. It shows you all the colors of the candles that you should be using and different planets. So for example, I show you like planet Jupiter is for Thursdays and the hours of the days that you should be doing the spell. So this is an easy road opener spell. So I know a lot of people like to do like different spell work, but if your roads are blocked, of course your spells are not going to work. So it's good to unblock yourself first and then start using the spell, especially with the new years and the new days to come. And also I have some amazing spells in here. This is a powerful quick money spell. So if you're in a bind for some money and you're just trying to get some money, and I even have some easy powerful spell to win Game of Chance. So if you are a gambler, now I don't promote gambling, but if you are a gambler and you're just trying to make some money and trying to make sure you win, these spells will definitely help you. It tells you the best days to do it. So it says the best days to perform this spell is on a Thursday, Jupiter day. Jupiter is the planet of good fortune, luck, and expansion. Jupiter is the best day to perform spells that boost luck and increase your chance of success in any game of chance or any money spell, period. It has a list of so many spells that you can incorporate in your life with this new year to bring prosperity. And I even put some bonus spells on here, which for Saturday is a day to do like protection work. So I have a spell for like send back to senders. So I put some bonus spells on here, and then a protection with Archangel Michael. So there's so many spells on here. Removing the evil eye spell, so you can remove evil eye in your money and also in your everyday life. New Year home blessing spell, and I know it's been a few days since the new year started, but you can always do a home blessing spell any days of the week. as long as you need it, you could do it. So anyways, guys, this is my book. It's called Crown of Success by Jenny, and it's available on Amazon, the ebook and also the physical copying. So please grab a copy if you're interested in supporting this channel. This is a way to support the channel and to support me as well for putting out, you know, content every day for you guys. So enjoy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this book, and I hope you go and grab your copy, whether it's the ebook or the physical copy. I say have a physical copy, but it's really up to how much, you know, your wallet and what you can afford. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Mwah. This is a shameless plug, so just check out my channel, okay? Love you guys. Mwah.